There he goes. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Beautiful, beautiful souls. And I would like to thank you guys for coming to the Luna Darling Experience podcast. Tonight I have my brother here with me, Infinite Vision. But for those of us who know him as Mr. Feek Muhammad, who is a very talented shaman in the spiritual community. And hey, bro, I sent you an invite. See if you can click the invite so you can join. Yeah, you got to check the invite. So I'm happy. I'm excited. This is my second podcast episode. The first one was with my dear sister. Why? Hold on, bro. Let me do it again. All right, try again when you get a chance. And so, first off, again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the podcast. Again, this is my second episode. My first episode was with my dear spiritual sister, Celestial Unique, and she came dropping some jewels on chakras and how to heal the chakras and how to tap in with your chakras, all that good stuff, and Reiki. And but tonight is a pure joy, and I'm really, really excited. And I hope my brother can join. I don't know what's going on with this Instagram thingy. Let's check it out again. Okay, bro, you here? Can you join? I don't know how else to do it. Let me see. Um, trying to get. Okay, don't worry, I'm here. I'll wait for you to come in. Hold on, guys. Invite my son's here. There you go.
Oh, shoot wrong. Hold on. There we go. Yeah.
Hi, brother.
Yeah, it was not trying to let me do it on the laptop.
Yeah, they tripping. Somebody did not want this podcast to happen tonight, but guess what? It's happening.
Let me see. Yeah, we live.
All right. So, number one, again, sorry for being late. As I said, let me cleanse this space because it's been a struggle, honey. It's been a struggle.
Ah, baby, I ain't gotta touch this puppy. But no, I did that. As soon as you said that, I was like, yep. And my crown chakra went crazy. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, somebody playing, and I ain't got time for the games at all.
God dang.
Okay, so first let me just say I'm happy to see you. Um, Number one, I'm glad that you are here. I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited about this conversation. I was not able to do the questions again because we know why. I was over here cleaning and cleansing myself and my space and setting up crystal grids and again because we know our energy and so because we vibe so high, there's always something trying to interfere with that. Um, and so I just had to do that and just set up a nice protective circle for us. And so we can do what we need to do and we can give the people the information that we have to give them.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so being I didn't write the questions down, I know you. You're my brother. So I'm just gonna ask you questions and we just gonna flow as we would normally flow.
Say less. I don't need no
Um,
kubasi. I don't need no question anyway. So
all righty. So first, how are you doing, sir?
besides my wrist, I'm cool.
Okay, so all right. I want you first to explain to people what a shaman is. I want you to explain how you became a shaman, what made you want to become a shaman.
So disclaimer.
Okay.
Somebody just hold on. All right, never mind. That was a Facebook message. All right, because
Hey, V.
I wanted to I guess I wanted because I don't really like to go by titles no more. Honestly,
Right,
I
right, right.
was like I don't even know if I want to be called the shaman anymore. But that's
Okay.
a for another day.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay, so what made Feek want to be a shaman? Or what made Feek want to be able to tap into the gifts that you were born with to be able to give people the services that you give them. Let me put it in that way.
Okay, so how did I end up here? Okay, um, well, I guess I mean this is how I grew up. Now that like I
Mm-hmm.
reflect on my mom and dad, they split when I was younger, when I was a baby. So I stayed with my mom, but I would visit my dad, and you know how that should go on weekends and whatnot. But
Right, right.
as I got older, he would tell me stuff, but he
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't mean it behind it. Like, so he would tell me little things like, freaking like, oh, hey, don't believe everything they tell you in school. Whatever the white man tell you, the opposite is true. We come from this. Da, da, da. Mind you, he Puerto Rican, but he was talking like he was pro-black. So,
Right. Well, I
boom.
mean, technically he is, if we want to be
Technically,
technical
yeah.
about it, right?
So my mom, we went to church faithfully, like faithfully. But before that, my mom's side, my grandmom, that side comes from witchcraft. But so
Okay.
was into the spiritual stuff, but then after her and my dad split, she went back into like the church, like the traditional Baptist church. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up Baptist for the most
Okay.
part. So what got me interested, like I said, I always grew up in this. My dad would give me little things, and my mom always had like religious books in a sense, if you can call them that.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be books about people and their experiences talking to angels and stuff like that. So I was young, I couldn't really read the books, but I'll read the back. And I'm like, damn,
Okay.
talking to angels and da 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 da. Like this shit sound
Right.
cool. What the
Mm-hmm.
hell? Da, da, da. So that started piquing my interest. And then, as like I said, as I got older, once I had my teen years, then my dad sat me down and he would start telling me deeper stuff. And so once I hit like I guess 17, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I did one of them career aptitude tests, and for basically like to show you what type of classes you should take in college and whatnot and major in. And
Yeah.
all of my stuff came back. It was historical studies. It was like anthropology, philosophy. One was metaphysics. It was it was a
Spirit was
lot of
talking then.
yeah, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell I'm supposed to do with this shit? So so it just I started talking to my dad more. Like I don't know how it transitioned to that, but it just did. And like I said, my dad he used to wear like the little Moor hats and all that, and he had the rings,
Okay.
jewelry. So
Mm-hmm.
he was tapped in. Once he realized that interested me,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, oh shit. So he would just start giving me stuff. So that was really how I tapped in. But as a kid, he gave me books with like the ancient, like I like talking about I knew, Amun Ra. He gave me like
Right.
I remember
The
the first time
truth.
I came home. Yeah, he gave me the
Mm-hmm.
home.
He gave
Like
you the
I
truth.
told you before. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was like 17. I did that shit, and my body started vibrating, and it fucked me up. Opened my eyes. I couldn't walk straight or nothing. I'm stumbling. I called him like,
Yeah.
"Oh, man," like I did the meditation. I felt da 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 da. He started laughing. He was like, "Damn, how long was you doing?" I said, "For like 20 something minutes." He was like, "Oh, I didn't think you was gonna feel on the first try." Da, da. He didn't give me the reason why. This is like the universal sound. Like this taps you in.
Yeah.
So he gave me that. He would give me DVDs of like Dr. Phil Valentine. Uh, I really wasn't watching Bobby Hemmett crazy like that. It wasn't really. So it was more like I watched, like I said, Dr. Valentine. He gave me DVDs on him. The Bull, Asir, the Duke of Tears.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
All the greats, basically.
he would give me
All
his
the
stuff.
greats. All the great awakers. Right.
Down the rabbit hole. So, because I naturally grew up like my friends would call me like a conspiracy theorist and stuff like that. So I would,
Oh,
growing up, I
okay.
would talk to them shit like that. So that
Mm-hmm.
led me down the rabbit hole because it just intrigued me more. So I remember I used to stay up to like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, just smoking, just researching shit. Like,
So let me ask you now, being you are at the point where you are in your life, do you think at that time that that was like a past life experience that may have been kind of like hollering at you a little bit, like, hey, this is what you know and you may have forgot, so let's tap back
I didn't
into
think
it.
about it like that. Now that you say it like
Mm-hmm.
that, I viewed it more in the sense like, okay, because then I got to continue the story. So I stopped. My pop passed away when I was 18. So after I graduated, and this was when like I was getting deep into the spiritual stuff, and me and him was really becoming close. Once he
Okay.
passed away, I stopped. Like I
Mm-hmm.
continued a little bit, but then like I just
Yeah.
stopped. I
Mm-hmm.
stopped. Part of me felt like I was angry. So like I was
Yeah.
angry. Not only I was angry at the world, I was angry at, I guess you could say, a God at the time, because I felt like, why the fuck
Mm-hmm.
would you take my teacher? Like he took my dad. Like what the fuck? So that put me in a depression on top of like family stuff going on in the background around that time.
Okay.
I'm getting tapped back in. Well, I'm 30. So I was 26, I would say. So about 8 years.
So yeah, that was a big gap there.
So about 8 years. And during that span, I was depressed. Like I was telling people before, I was battling a lot of emotions. Like I checked myself in the mental homes because of depression, like suicidal thoughts and all types of things. And once I
Mm-hmm.
got on my feet, once I got on my feet and got my emotions together, my mental together, and then I basically like rented out a room, got on my feet, started working. Once I got situated with that, then the
Uh-huh.
spiritual came. Like it was
Just
like
kicks
it was
in.
like it was
Mhm.
like a catch up.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
everything you missed these 8 years, we're about to give you now. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I
So
tapped
get
back
ready.
in. I tapped back in because my mom, she
Okay.
tapped me. She was going through her own journey and she started tapping back into herself. So she was like going to
Mhm.
spiritual schools and stuff. And I was watching her growth and I admired it. I didn't really like
Right.
pay it no real mind because I was still doing my thing. I'm like, all right, mom, that's cool. You taking these things that I. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember this shit like it was yesterday. She had bought a new deck of cards. I never had a read in my life. And she was like, I got this deck of this Oracle deck or whatever. Da, da, da. I'm like, all right, well, you my mom, give me a reading. Like, what the fuck can it say to me? Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
I said, if anybody give me a reading, you give me a reading. Like, I never had one. Let's go. And that thing changed my life. Like, it was that shit was like, she was like, all right, this reading is gonna tell you what you about to go through in the next week. So I'm thinking it's bullshit. I'm like, man, that shit sound cool. Like I'm about to go through in a week. All right, give me the reading. So that shit, she started
Mm-hmm.
flipping them cards. You know how I go. I'm
Yeah.
sitting there
Yeah.
like, okay, they start saying some things. I'm like, damn, like what the fuck? So the main thing I could share that it said you about to go through a crazy spiritual experience, like I said, through like the next 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me that like Thursday. The experience happened that Sunday. So
Mm.
experience crazy. What happened was I was sitting on the couch with my fiance Darian, right? The mother
Mm-hmm.
of my
Hey,
goddess,
D.
right? So me and her are sitting on the couch, and like I said, I knew this shit like yesterday. What happened was my mom gave me some chakra beads that she charged up. And what happened
Okay.
was she gave a set to my sister. I got jealous. I'm like, damn, I want some beads, like da da da. I need some energy, da da da. Just being, I want some too, mom. Gave me
Mm-hmm.
her wrist. She said, just take these. She gave them to me. One of them a couple days, like I said. So that Sunday, me and her sitting on the couch, me and Darian. I forgot we was watching. So I turned, do like this, and my arm running. Gave her a kiss. When I turned back around, I shit you not, I seen a shadow, like the same shape as me, fall right into me, like whop. And when it did that shit,
Mm-hmm.
everything shook. Boom! And I jumped up like, what the fuck was that? She looking at me like, you okay? I was like, yo, you ain't hear that shit? She's like, no. I was like, yo, you ain't see that shit? She was like, no, you okay? I'm like, so I'm in my mind like, what the fuck was that? Like a demon or something? What the fuck?
Right, thinking something done jumped in you,
I
honey.
don't know what the fuck it was. Come to find out, somebody told me that was like, man, that was you connecting back with your higher self. Like that was
Yeah.
after that. It was like boom, like it was no whole bars. Like it just
It's like everything
I'm
comes flooding out, right? Everything, the
mm-hmm,
doors just open up for you. Yeah.
and it was like I felt like fucking Doctor Strange in the first movie when she tapped his head, and I was like, what? And they just hear these realms real quick. And I was like, what the fuck? Like what the
Yeah.
fuck I would do as a child when I start tapping back in. I was like that. Like I said, my dad was telling me these things, but he wasn't telling me the real meaning. So when I start diving in, I'm like, so all this shit is considered a cult, like spirit knowledge. Like what the fuck? But this shit I grew up on. So like the
Yeah.
motherfucker
Yeah.
just bear rule in 2020. I'm like, I knew about this shit in '05, '06. This is
Right.
what my dad was telling me.
Right.
I'm things like these motherfucker, this shit is real. Fuck. And then the
Breaking up.
gift.
Hold on a minute. Breaking up. Look, I got this very handy. Because any type of energy I feel is getting waved out. You hear me?
Man,
Because you see. Okay.
all right,
All
yeah.
right. Say
So,
something again. Your service is off.
whoop. I probably gotta hold this mother sucker.
Yeah, move over a little bit or something.
Yeah. All right, how about now?
Let me see. It's still stuttering a little bit, but maybe it'll get better.
I know I got a crappy phone. So
It's okay.
so that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I told her, then I started, like I said, tapping back in. So I started asking for like my gifts and like who I am. Typical spiritual questions when you go back in, like who am I? What am I here for?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like, everything was like mental magic and alchemy and like things of that nature, like regressions and shit. So I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like sigils, like all that type stuff. That was what was coming to me. That's how I ended up doing regressions. Like I found books on regression techniques and how to regress people. And I'm sitting here like I sound like, what am I supposed to do with this information? What happened was I reached out to the guy, Quentin Q. Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Reached out to him. What happened was he regressed my mom like a while, like before, like years before I even got one from him. So like a year or two before I got mine, he regressed her and she was telling me about it. And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think y'all vibrate on the same, y'all talk about the same type stuff, da da da. So I started watching his videos. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to get a regression. So he regressed me, and that was an experience. I met like four gods, and then they
Mm-hmm.
basically it wasn't because you had a regression with me, so you know, and most of the people
Yes.
have. What was the type of
Yes.
regression like that y'all had? Mine was more like I met them. They said who they were. They said what they was here for, and then they said, "Bye, like you got work to do," and they just sent me on my way. Like I'm trying to ask more questions, and in the middle of me asking questions, a road opened up behind me, and then they start waving. It was like,
Yeah.
"Nah,
See you later. Bye. Okay, so let me ask you a question. So, how important do you think it is for a person on a spiritual journey to actually get a regression?
it's important, but I don't. I feel like that's something you get when you're ready."
I agree. Because most people are not ready, honey. They may think that they're ready, but they get in there and they like, what the hell is this? So I do agree with you. And that's something that I do hold very dear about you is because you're very you're very direct about what happens during regressions, right? And you make sure that people are ready, not only mentally, but emotionally and spiritually. And you also make sure that they're comfortable in what it is that they may see in there. And I think that's very important because a lot of people really don't understand what goes into a regression, right? They kind of just really think it's kind of a form of meditation in a sense, but it's really not. And I kind of want you to kind of break it down for them so they kind of could separate the two and understand that visualization has nothing to do with regression.
Okay. So your point was perfect. Like you said, this the touch on what you were saying about me being so direct and all that. It's like a form of responsibility. Like
Absolutely.
I'm operating with this, you're trusting me with basically like to take you into these realms, or if we doing subconscious healing, you're letting
Mm-hmm.
me a piece of you. So that thing, that's something I take serious because
Right.
I don't want to show you some shit. Number one, freak you the fuck out. So now you've done, I either sent you into a mental home because you interpreted some shit wrong, or I done
Right.
freaked you out so bad you went back to religion or something. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I, like you said, I try to give people usually, yeah, most people know I spend usually the first 15 minutes of the conversation before we do the regression going over disclaimers. Like
Right.
everything you expect, da 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 da. And if you're not ready, we won't do it. I'll tell you, like, listen, you ain't ready for this today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We schedule it because then I'm the type of guy too. I'm not going to just take your money and be like, oh well, it's just not working. My thing
Right.
is, how I am. We going to do. You paid me, so we're going to till we knock this out. Like I don't care
Mm-hmm.
if we got to reschedule next month, or I gotta talk to you, get you more comfortable and relaxed. But we're gonna knock this out. You
Mm-hmm.
pay for this service. You're gonna receive this service.
So I love that because I view that too as far as like my Reiki healing and my chakra work. Not everybody's third eye and not everybody's crown is supposed to be activated nor opened. Because not everybody is okay with handling all the information that comes pouring in. So that is very important. So, okay, so now explain to the people the difference between a regression and the difference between a meditation or a visualization or anything like that. Because technically, as you said, you're literally going into a person's subconscious mind, right?
So the difference, I would say, the difference is it's more of a deeper state of trance. So usually when you daydream, because you go in and out of trances throughout the day period. Like if you're
Mm-hmm.
not in control of who you are. So like you watching something for a long extended period of time and you start to daydream, that's a trance. You zone out at work or somebody told you, that's a trance. So if
Mm-hmm.
you get too focused on some shit, it's a trance. Like you
Mm-hmm.
too focused, everything melts away. That's a form of a
Yeah.
trance.
Yeah.
So is this is because we're getting into brain waves. So now we in the theta wave because that's where
Mm-hmm.
these level regressions take place. And that's when you study these things, you'll understand the theta state is one of the closest states to source. That's where the state where you have most of your spiritual experiences as
Yes.
you
Yes.
in that state of mind. That's where
Mm-hmm.
you could talk to entities, you can manifest things, you can heal yourself on a deeper level, like actually talk to
Mm-hmm.
past lives, and you're actually it's so vivid because the daydream you daydreaming you feel like you're there, but it's more like you just observing. With this,
Mm-hmm.
you're in it. You're fully consciously aware of everything that's going on. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you think you're whatever you seeing, you feeling it. So if you say you outside in the sunlight, you're feeling that heat.
Feeling
If
the
you walk,
heat, you're smelling the ocean water, you're feeling the breeze of the trees, you're hearing the birds flirting. Like, yes, this is all legit. This is all legit.
it's like you're there, and time is different. So you feel
Hmm.
like you've been there for 10 minutes. On my end, we've been doing this shit for 3 hours.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's basically I would say the biggest difference. It's just it's a deeper level of a trance. But
Okay.
in this state, you're fully aware, and then you remember everything when you get out of it. So it's not like you're waking up and you like, "Ooh, what happened?" or you going to remember pieces. No, people wake up and be like, "What the hell was that?" Da, 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 da. So you remember. Well, I mean, if it's 3 hours, you ain't gonna remember everything. But for the most
Right,
part,
right, right, right.
you
Well, I
remember.
mean, if it's an in-depth regression and everything was truly vivid and it's things that was spoken that you know that you would never forget about. Oh yeah, you're gonna remember everything that done took place. But we know some people just remember what's kind of dear and close to their heart. Okay, so now let me ask you this question. So um I want to speak to you about different dimensions in a sense of being sometimes when you do take people through regression, sometimes you actually do kind of go through a different time warp in a sense, right? So
Yeah.
my question is as far as dimension. Um, how will one know that they are in a dimension, and how will one be able to um come to the conclusion that they may be in an alternate reality, but still within the 3D frame. Does that make
Uh,
sense?
I, yeah, I get what you're saying. How would you know if you like just visiting like a parallel reality or if you just in a whole
Yeah,
different realm?
right.
All right. As far as about parallel realities, it's certain similarities, but it's like key differences. So like you'll be the same you in that session, seeing that parallel reality, but like, all right, prime example, you might be with Mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is like same type city, look the same, same New
Mm-hmm.
York, same house, all that, but it's subtle differences. So one difference might be you not a doula, you an actual doctor. Yeah,
Right. So
right.
it's a little switch up there.
You get a little switch up. Sometimes it can be
Okay.
bigger, but for the most part, you'll notice it. Like, oh shit! Like, and then on top of it, yeah, and then like then you'll just it's like a feeling. Like I can't even explain it. We visit these parallel realities when we dream too. So you like you just kind of know from those subtle differences. Like, okay, we dealing with like another version of you. This is what this is.
Right. Right.
Now, as far as realms,
Mm-hmm.
that's yeah, that speaks for itself. It's just a whole nother freaking realm. Like you walking in, we in a like I said, but in the previous regression, I went to the realm of the celestials. That was all like crystals, like rainbow
Mm-hmm. Everything
crystals.
is very illuminated. Everything is very, yeah, yeah.
Home of the dragons, it was dragons flying everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is
Okay,
this?
wait, slow down, because we're gonna get into that next, right? We're gonna get into these, we're gonna get into these gods, and we're gonna get into these dragons, because I get a lot of questions about dragons, and some people be like, dragons, what are you talking about? Yes, dragons are real. Dragons are
Oh,
real,
holy shit
and
is real.
Brother Peak is going to break it down for you guys. So, but first, I want you to explain to the people how important respect is, as well as being able to have the knowledge of not being fooled in these realms. Okay.
Okay, oh, all right. So discernment and respect. All right. The respect part is important because it's the same thing like with us. You will want the same respect when somebody approach you asking you for some questions and some knowledge. You don't want nobody disrespecting you. It's the same thing. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't take it serious when I was first started doing these as like not I was respectful, but let me say I wasn't as consciously aware of me being so respectful as I am now.
Okay.
What
That's why
happened
I
was
asked you that question, because a lot of people are that way.
yeah, shit, yeah. But we do it without even knowing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to do it because I damn who's somebody session and we met was it Chango? We met one of these. I did so many. We met one of these male African deities, and what
Mm-hmm.
happened? I had hog spit like like one of them. Yeah, listen. And like she was like, "Well, he ain't like that." I'm like, "What you mean he ain't like what?" She's like, "You spitting like in front of him." I'm like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh man, you don't spit." I'm like, "We don't do that in front of gods. Like, we won't it's respect." I
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
a form of disrespect.
"Yeah,"
Yeah.
but in my mind, I'm just a regular person. I gotta get this out.
Mm.
I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, my fault." And then also too, if you're not respectable, they won't answer your questions.
Oh no, honey.
Nothing. So I've had that happen
Mm-hmm.
where clients came through. They, I'm like, man, ask them this, and they asking it in such arrogant, cocky ways or disrespectful ways that the spirit or the guy is looking at them like. One time,
Yeah.
one time, one. Well, this was funny as shit. This was a client. One of her guys was a fairy. So when we addressed her, she met the fairy. but she, I guess that's not the type of guy she expected to have. And when she was like, man, I don't like what the so I forgot what she
Oh.
said. So she left. Like she was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Bible deuces, peace, and then she left. So I'm like, yo, like what the hell is wrong with you? You gotta like apologize. She was like, oh, I ain't. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's like you showing up and then the person comes to you like, eh, you ain't what I expected. You be
Yeah.
here. So she
And
straight
that's
left.
what people need to take into consideration is that though they are spirits, though they are guides, though they are gods and goddesses, um, they still have emotion, they still have feeling, they still want respect, they still want their dignity, they still want you to pay homage to them, you know? And it's very important that you guys do so. Do not take that lightly. Please. Because it, like Feek said, the littlest thing, him just relieving himself as far as spit, you know, they're like, no, that's disrespectful, you don't do that. So please guys, be mindful of what you're doing when you're going into these realms and when you're speaking to these ancient gods and goddesses and entities and things of that nature. Okay.
Yeah, please
Yeah,
be man,
bro.
please. That's one thing they don't play. They will leave in a hot second, and then we'll spend five
Mm-hmm.
minutes trying to apologize, and they'll come back. But they will. They have no problem. Like, oh, like you came here for me. I ain't coming for you. Like I didn't. Like, you got regrets to talk to me. I didn't. Yeah. Like what? You came to me. You
Yes,
after me. You called my phone.
that part. Okay, so tell me this. So, what is kind of a pet peeve for you as far as being a shaman?
A pet peeve.
Mm-hmm. Like, like what is something that you may dislike about what you do, the clients that you may have, certain entities that you may have came across in these regressions, or
Okay. Okay. Do I really have a pet peeve? Let me see. As far as like, okay, right? Well, we talking about, oh, it's a clients and regression part.
so
A
all right,
pet peeve.
what's a client's biggest misconception about having a regression or anything that has to do with any type of energy work?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. That's easy. That's the easiest one. People, shit. People come to me, right?
Hmm.
Book a regression, right? And then think it's a regular reading. So I had that happen 100 times at least. Like somebody come
Oh
to me,
no.
yo, I got a regression. I want to find this out. I want to know this. So I'm like, all right, cool. We can do that. Da, da, da. So then, like, say the day of the session start, they be like, okay, so like, you want a video chat? You got your cards ready? I'm like, what? Cards ready for what? They're like, yeah, for the reading. I'm like, no, baby, you have to. You are about to see this. I'm not. You are about to see this.
Yeah, yeah.
They be like, oh no, that go what you said earlier about being ready. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm ready for something like that.
Hmm.
Booked it. Like, you seen my posts and my lives, and like, did you not watch it? What the hell you thought I was doing?
Right, right. Okay, so tell me tell me what's your most favorite thing about being a shaman?
Favorite thing. Favorite thing. I don't. I guess it's just new spiritual experiences.
Hmm.
That's the main thing. That'd be my favorite. Going through
Okay.
something like getting my mind blown. Because every time I think I've seen it all or experienced it all,
Hmm.
and it's like, no, you didn't. Here you go. And it's like, oh, okay. And when I'm shell shocked about that, it's something else, and I'm more shell shocked. I'm sitting there just baffled. So
Right.
that's all I can say. It's just going through crazy different spirit. Like I love it because it's invigorating. But then
Hmm.
it's like because if I don't do it, I just get bored with regular mundane life. It's like all right, it just gets repetitive. But going through things like that, that's that spark. Like all right, yeah, like I just did this thing, I just did this shit. I didn't know I could do this, and then let me see if I could twist it with this, and then if I might not do nothing for a week, I'm like, damn, I feel stagnant. Wow, something crazy.
Hmm.
I might have somebody come to me and they want me to channel a family member that they want to talk to. And then all right, and it might be a crazy emotional experience. I might regress somebody and we might go somewhere I never even thought of going. We could go before. Like,
Hmm.
talk to beings and they might share some shit that might blow my mind. So, yeah, that's all
Okay.
different. Spiritual experience.
All right. So now let's talk about dragons. Because again, people do not think that dragons exist. And I'm here to tell y'all that dragons do exist. And a funny story. So um me and brother Feek, right? Feek Feek got his dragon first, right? And Feek's telling me about this experience, and I'm like, seriously, bro? Like a kid in a candy store, eyes wide, bushy tail, just ears open, just listening to everything, right? And a day or so later, I get this damn dragon in my house, right? I'm like, thinking
Waiting
the
for you.
dragon is not is thinking the dragon is for my husband, and the dragon is like, no, I'm your dragon. I'm here for you. Now, meanwhile, I hit Feek like, there's a dragon in my hallway. Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to deal with this?
I think
So,
I sent you the link to to that dragon magic school.
yes, you did. And then after that, you know, your sister, I went down a whole rabbit hole and caught a whole bunch of books and a whole bunch of other stuff and educated myself. So I want you to explain to people um that there are dragons that are in this world, right? You already just spoke about the trolls. People know about different entities and the gods and goddesses, um but they are not aware of dragons. They are not aware of genies. They are not aware of, well, as we call them, we would call them jinns and not genies. They are not aware of elementals, different elementals, and how they help us during our journeys as well. So I want you to just have the floor and just break it all down for the people, bro.
Okay, right. So with these entities, like you said, they're all real. When you talk to people, when you tell them this shit, they be like, man, mermaids and that shit ain't real. Da, da, da. You tell them, no, bro, this shit is real. Like this shit is right.
Hmm.
How I explain it to people is I break it down. I tell them like, okay, you got the light spectrum, and they be like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, you know about the light spectrum, then, right? They're like, yeah. I'm
Hmm.
like, you know about infrared, ultraviolet, shit like that. They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, you know, all these lights exist in the same space. They like, yeah. I'm like, but they're separated, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, that what the fuck do you think these realms are? It's just like the light. It's just like that. It's just like that. Like we're all in the same space, but it'll be like infrared would be its own realm, ultraviolet
Hmm.
own realm. So that's how I try to explain it to these people. It's all in the same. And then when you tap in and you raise your elevation and your vibration, and it's not even just your vibration, it's your awareness. That's what I try to tell people. When you
Right.
become aware of these things,
Hmm.
you can't ignore it no more because now you brought it from the darkness to the light. So now you have to deal with it. That's the same
Yeah.
when you in pain. Problems like when you get cut, you might not feel. You might have got cut an hour ago, never felt it. Then somebody walk up, damn,
Hmm.
you got a big ass cut on your arm. You're like, what? Where? Girl, where? You look down. Oh shit! Now you in pain.
Yeah. Then it starts mentally taking a toll,
Now you
right?
have to face it and address it. The same thing
Hmm.
as you grow in awareness, you just see it. So it might not even be them really reaching out to you. You might catch a shadow. What the fuck was that? You might see a glimpse of like what the hell? Shit, a regular person.
Hmm.
But that's because your awareness grew. Not only have you researched these entities, now you did the spiritual practices, you rose your vibration, and you've made yourself susceptible now to be able to tap into these
That's
realms.
right.
Because all these things have a space. As they say in the book, he said they put a veil over the shit. They didn't. All you did was just put a little thin ass piece.
Just moving it on over is what you're doing.
Holes in it so much now, everything passing through. So everything is there. But you ain't got to tell them this because then once they got giant skeletons and bones. All this shit is real. If you ask
Yeah,
me,
listen, the
oh,
earth has been unearthing herself very within the past couple years.
nothing new.
Even I would like to say within the last 50 years in a sense. Definitely unearthing herself without people actually digging up certain things. So I do agree with you with that, bro.
Like it's been it's everything is what they say. Nothing new under the sun. It's all getting revealed and
Hmm.
old knowledge that been here. But these beings are here, like, and you are connected to certain ones depending on whatever bond you made. You can say contracts, you can say through ancestry, whatever. They choose the
Mm-hmm.
one, or they sometimes they call you family. So, because you got the makeup of all things inside you, you're human. This is part of the reason why every creature is jealous of you. You are everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
you exist in all realms. You can physically be here and still go to a dragon realm. Can't most of these beings, these entities can't do that, not no more. So that's
Yeah.
where the ability comes in at, and then you get possessed and all types of shit like that. But yeah. So, but yeah, the dragon energy is no joke. It's very intense. Once you open yourself up, start working with them, and they start making their presence known, ain't no way in hell you gonna mistake that presence of a
Yeah,
dragon.
and I tell people too, there's also different type of dragons. Like all dragons are not the same. You do have different elemental dragons. You do have different dragons that come to teach you different things. Show you how to work with different type of energies. Some dragons literally just have ancient knowledge that they just literally want to just teach you. So it's a broad spectrum
They are
of
very,
different dragons.
they
Uh,
are.
um,
That's one
say
thing.
that
I
again.
said they are serious beings. That's one thing about them.
Mm-hmm.
And once you
Mm-hmm.
start working with them, they will not let you take a day off. Like they'll be reaching out, like, "Oh, we're supposed to be practicing this today." Like, oh, I just
Oh
want to.
yeah.
No,
Oh
they're
yeah.
practicing. Like yeah, they don't play. Like, but I guess that just goes to their energy in the sense they were like been here since like that's one of the first things created. Like they are
Yeah.
primordial.
Yeah.
Serious.
Absolutely.
Where some
Okay.
entities, some duties, be like, no, you ain't gotta do this today. We can do that tomorrow. Like you worked hard today. Like take a day off. Them dragons say, hey,
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So um I want to ask you about our how would you say it in a sense? Our soul connection to the cosmos.
oh shit, you with a deep question there. That's one that I should have got
Come
sent.
on, bro. You know you gotta educate the people now, so I ain't gonna ask you nothing too mundane, honey.
I mean, you are the cosmos. That's the simplest connection you need. So you are the moment like the moment you are conceived, all the matter that makes that's floating around in the galaxy and stars and space and all that is the same shit in the womb. So
There you go.
it's just that you are that. Like I don't know how to put it. Like you could say when you if you believe in the chakra system and you start talking about that, you would know them
Mm-hmm.
spirits connect with the planets. So then you start taking it on a deeper level, as above, so below, right? As with it, everything is a reflection of you. So you
That's
could buy.
right.
Well, technically, I'm a whole solar system.
Your whole solar system.
You are a reflection of that. Everything when they tell you in school and shit, the world don't revolve around. Yes, everything revolves around you. Yes, the fuck it do. You are your central sun of your reality, of your personal galaxy. And when other
So
motherfuckers come into your space, they enter into their planet, asteroid, ship, whatever you want to call it, is influenced by that. And they
so let
come
me tell
in.
you a story, right? So a few months back, me and the sisters were doing a meditation, right? I forgot what kind of meditation we were doing, but literally, Feek, my when I went in, my body turned into the universe, right? I literally seen myself become a nucleus of a cell. Like it was wow. Like I seen the whole layout of how our genetics are made and how we are assigned our avatars. Like it was wild crazy to me, right? And in my head, after the meditation, when we came out, I said to the sisters, I said, you know what? I just had a whole epiphany moment. And they was like, what happened? And I was like, we are literally a walking universe.
Yeah,
We are
but they
literally a walking universe.
they showed it to you, like they let you see.
Mm-hmm.
Some ancient cultures and some believe. I can't do the same belief. The moment you manifest down here, at the same simultaneous time, your star appears in space. So you have a star, like bye,
Yes.
and that for you in the sky, like in space, you have a fucking star. And then how I talked about before, When now you tap, now you start talking about when you want to connect this to what? Now we connect this to astrology and your birth chart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or how your lines, I say that's just, in my mind, I put that together as that's just the angle of light in which your consciousness projects itself down here from your personal star. And everything it
Right.
reflects off of, all your planets in them houses that it reflects off
Yeah, that's your
of,
personal constellation.
this shit, and then every entity being God, because these planets have angels, gods, deities, all assigned demons,
Mm-hmm.
all assigned to me. So now you making packs because your shit is bouncing off, and then coming down here. So now everything, every planet, every star, that thing that bounced off of, you done interacted on a spiritual level
Yeah.
with these beings. And this is where you made your agreement. Say, I'm gonna take y'all with me to this. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna ride with inside this vessel of such and such. You're gonna experience this shit.
Absolutely.
That's just my point of view on that. So, but then and then they believe too, and some this is another, this is like a hermetic belief too, that they believe, and some that basically that's what you're here to do. You're here to keep elevating and growing till you become your own solar system, then your own universe, to where you start housing
Mm-hmm.
entities and beings for them to go through spiritual growth and development. Because you done mastered every space you went into, you learned everything you were supposed to learn. So instead of you getting to that level and then going to somebody else's space to learn some shit, you get to the point where now you mastered it, so you projecting and now you creating everything. So now entities are able to come into your space and in your
Mm-hmm.
reality manifest it and to learn the lessons that they want to learn spiritually. But that depends on who you are. That's just one train of thought with that.
Ashe, feet.
So yeah, but yeah, that's that.
Well,
So
thank
you,
you for answering that question the way you answered it. Thank you so much, sir. That was perfect. Okay. Um, all right. Let's get into let's get into now. Okay, because a lot of spiritualists don't talk about this, and I like to speak about this with you because um we're spiritualists that really don't let entities and shit tell us what the fuck they want to tell us. Right? We're like, what are you talking about? So I want you to explain to the people that yes, it's okay to work with these ancient energies, right? But however, everybody has their own agenda, and how some entities, in a sense, right, choose to work with you just to elevate themselves, not to elevate you. So, in a sense, kind of having a discretion of not being used by certain energy.
okay. So how I would go about it, well, my personal way is I don't work with no entity that, let me say, I don't go out looking for entities to work with. So that's one form of protection of protecting yourself. Just not, don't go out there, because people follow trends now so crazy. So they might see
Mm-hmm.
one spiritualist they got to follow and talking about how they work with, let's just say, this entity, and they and
Mm-hmm.
they really working with it, talking about their experiences, but that's their experiences. You don't know, this might be the entity that their ancestry and their bloodline worked with, like there's, so it's a
Yeah.
we don't know the pact that they made with this entity prior before coming here. We don't know nothing. We don't know we don't know. So now this person works with this entity, or think they are, but they don't really. And then say they go about it the wrong way, because they're not even being told from the spiritualist that's doing it fully, like what they're doing behind the scenes. They're just being told about the experience, like little shit, because people don't share everything. They
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like,
Right.
cool with you. They'll be like, oh, I did this, and then no, they ain't telling you the extra shit they did. So now you, not you, the person to go there, decide I'm gonna work with this entity, put some shit out that they assume or whatever, or Google some shit that the entity like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking it's a trickster. It's a whole shapeshifter or some shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then you ain't, since you going out so eager to work with an entity or that entity. Yeah, it's like you just too eager. So instead of you being alert, more sound, coming from a better frame of thinking and judgment, you so eager to just get
Mm-hmm.
out there, try to experience that same experience that you see this person having, or just be hyped to work with that entity.
Yeah. And nobody has the same experience.
Not at all. Not yet. Damn sure don't. Everybody's different. So
Yeah. I mean, it's plenty of people that could work with the same the same god or goddess or whatever the case is or entity, but your experience is not the same. They do not act.
It's going to be different. So that's why the experience is going to be different. That's what we're different people. So how I choose to interact,
Hmm.
like okay, how I would choose to interact and study and under ISIS would be different than how you would because
Right.
you're different. First,
Hmm.
you are more inclined to different skill sets than me. Like, so it'd be a different experience. So yeah, it won't be the same. Me trying to go in there and copy another people trying to copy other people's spiritual experiences make it unauthentic,
That
and that's
part.
real experience. Nor are you experiencing true growth because you just really, and that's how you get used. Because then now they
Yeah.
pulling on all them things. So now not only was you eager, so now they got you for being eager. Now they start feeding into that hero complex ego shit. So now you sitting there
Hmm.
telling me all the shit you want to hear. Da, da, da. And you start feeding in, then you realize it
Yeah.
got you trying to do some crazy dark shit later. You in too deep.
Hmm.
And you wonder why you getting sick or all this other weird shit. You in too deep. Because
Yeah.
you ain't certain things or you was just too you an eager beaver. Let's just say that.
That part. Okay, so now I want to talk to you about um the importance of cleansing um after you do these regressions, the importance of you cleansing as a whole, being you are interacting with these different energies and entities in these different realms.
All right. After any regression, we close all doors, portals, windows, whatever you want to say. We close all that. What I do after I cleanse the space initially is I tend to take a bath, a spiritual bath. So I'll hop right into it. Like
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I try to take one once a week. Just
Okay.
period. Just me not because I might not even do nothing spiritual, not for no clients or nothing for a whole week, but still, I take
But
one
just
out.
to do a spiritual maintenance in a sense. Mm-hmm.
Guarantee you, if I get, especially if it like when I did the one with the where me and the client we went to a section of hell, and I told y'all about them energies. That shit sat me down. Like I never felt no shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Energy from them fucking demons. I was like, I couldn't move. I was like, what the fuck? Took a bath immediately.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, fuck that. Take a bath.
Mm-hmm.
For certain things you'll just know, but I take one period because now you got to cleanse yourself with first of all the client's energy, right? Who type of emotions they released. So if especially if it's a subconscious
Honey.
level, so I got to get rid of that. Don't know if we actually did some removals of things, so now I got to cleanse myself for that. So all that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
me being connected and the energy I put out, I'm cleansing myself.
Well,
So
very
yeah,
good. As y'all heard, Brother Feek, spiritually cleansing yourself is very important once a week. Um, Sometimes I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes as spiritualists, we do a 7 day cleanse just to make sure we are a-okay because sometimes we do a lot of work and we just want to make sure that we're purified as we're supposed to be so we can continue to do the work that we're supposed to be doing. Um Okay. Sophie, besides you being a shaman and besides you doing energy work, right? Is there anything else that you're working on at the moment that you may want to introduce to the people?
at the moment, uh, not per se.
Not per se.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
okay, so I got I got some stuff. It's just trying to figure out how to
how to
put it. It
okay, I got you.
was shown a new protection thing, but it's
Mm-hmm.
a sense of how do I go about showing it and explaining what the hell it is. But it's a fire protection, and they show me
Okay.
most of the time I get shown my things in my baths. So
Okay.
that's what they'll give me new meditations to do,
Mm-hmm.
new idea for cleanse. I get a new idea for or it be something for me to do myself. So
Right.
it'll just be
Okay, well,
different
being
from
you just mentioned sigils, Brother Feek does do sigils. His sigils are powerful as fuck. And so I want you to talk to the people about sigils. Explain to the people what sigils are. Um, Though you don't make your sigils like everybody else, but maybe you can explain a little bit how sigils are supposed to be created. Um, Activation of sigils. Um,
All right.
yeah.
So sigils. Sigils are nothing but the easiest term. It's a lot of terms. So one thing would be that we're gonna go on a spiritual level first, I guess. So we could say
Okay.
that they can connect you with entities because when you'll see certain archangels and certain entities have their own
Mm-hmm.
sigils, and like certain hoodoo voodoo practices, these entities, goddesses and gods have sigils like that you put
Yeah.
and you do your
Right. Because
yeah.
that's what I use. I use the Veves, right? That's
Yep.
the
Then they
Haitian
got
version of it. Yeah.
Luciferian, Lucifer sigil. So this is common. This is common knowledge. Some of these things, like I said, they connect you to entities. They can trap
Mm-hmm.
entities, channel energy, store
Protection.
energy, protection. They can
Mm-hmm.
aid in healing, manifesting, anything. What they really are on a subconscious level is they're just symbols that communicate directly with the subconscious. So they speak directly to it. This shit trying to lag now. Okay. So yeah, they speak right to the subconscious because the subconscious only can remember, well, not remember. It interprets just simple signs and symbols the easiest. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it really works. Why most corporations their symbol is a sigil. And like McDonald's
Yeah.
sigil would be a
Yeah. Yes.
sigil.
Yes.
All of the emotion, a feeling. It gets you to think about this thing. Same shit. It's
Mm-hmm.
all it's a symbol. When you make a sigil, like I said, you're speaking directly to your subconscious mind. So say you make one for the purpose of helping you get a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
You activate that thing, it gets speaking right to the subconscious. So now the subconscious mind is telling them, okay, job, manifest job, we got a job. So it is start doing things in the background, putting you in situations to get the job. Where some people mess up is when they get one of these things, they don't recognize the opportunities of that what they manifested. So
Okay.
they so say they do one for a job. They might not fill out apps. So now they're like, yo, I ain't get that job. You ain't been what the
You didn't, yeah.
you
Yeah.
with it. So you doing one app, but you doing one or two apps here and there. You're not really on your shit every day
Yeah.
for
You're not
hours.
applying yourself.
Yeah, so now you wondering why either A is not working or is working slow. So you're like, bro, you're not trying. Like shit's not going. You're not gonna wake up and get called to be a fucking doctor. That shit
But
don't
you
work
know
that
what's
way.
so funny about that too? That goes with dealing with your spirit team to also, because a lot of people feel like, right? A lot, okay, a lot of people feel like, oh, they just gonna do it. I ain't gotta do nothing. No, you gotta do the work too. You can't just give them everything and think that they just supposed to hand you stuff. No, you gotta get your ass up and you gotta do that work.
Yeah, but they say help himself. You gotta do the work. Not somewhere else. Or you go on situations.
Okay,
That's
you breaking
it.
up, bro.
So you're not really applying yourself.
Hmm.
You see crazy scenario like whatever.
Speak, move over. You gotta move again. We lagging again.
Are we good?
Okay, it's better.
Yeah, I'm cool, man. You cool?
Okay, yeah, wait. I told you every time this shit start, not I ain't playing. Me and Navala's playing about to light this whole shit up because I don't have time for these people playing games.
She like raised the pop. She about to break out some candles. Raise, you know,
All right, bro. Trying to cleanse you out.
They said not today. You talking
Okay.
too.
I
You
think
talking
that's better.
frequency. You fucking frequencies. You'll be too high vibration.
You still breaking up.
I said our vibration is too high. We messing with the frequency. You can't hold us.
Mm-hmm. Listen, it's all right though. They just mad. That's all that is. It's okay. We
All
gonna
right.
we gonna we gonna we gonna we gonna we gonna curve and swerve them right on out, bro. That's what we gonna do. Okay.
Mhm.
Um. All right. So,
All right.
um,
All right. So you said
being
making
this
it, right? Making the
right,
sigils.
it's messing. Yeah. Hold on. You lagging a little bit again.
All right. Let me move around. I got bad knees. All right, how about
Not
that?
bad news.
Great pot. All right. Is that better?
A little bit. Say something.
Yo.
There you go. Okay.
All right. All right. So when you look up, it's a one main way that a lot of people use is letters, and then they take the vowels out and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main ones, I do that from time to time, but sometimes you could just draw things that connect to you and represent something subconsciously, and then put them together. That's another method people use. Another one is
Mm-hmm.
planets, planetary
Mm-hmm.
grids. That's one of the main. That's one of my favorite ones. And you do that by getting the every planet has a grid, a number grid, and then once you get the number, you connect through numerology, every letter with the numerical number. So A1, B2, shit like that. And then you will
Mm-hmm.
put it on a grid and you will draw it. So say you want to do, let's say protection, right? Protection is, and why would I pick protection? And that's all the way down there. Whatever number it is. Whatever number it is, right? So you would do that and you will find that number on that grid. So you will pick a planet that is about protection. So say you about, all right,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm gonna do Saturn. So you would get the Saturn grid, and then you will find you like I said, you will do the number. So say we'll say for sake of this argument right now that P is what the 16th letter. So you can either you have to do numbers that add up to 16 or 16 on that grid. So you can either start at the 16 or you can
Mm-hmm.
do like you can do a freaking what would add up to it? You can do you get what I'm saying. I'm fumbling at my words, but you would just
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
No, but
You
I get you though, bro. I get you.
and you would just go from there. So you would go down to each from each letter to the next to the number. So say you would go from P to R. So whatever the R is on the numerical value on that for that planet, whatever number it is, you go bam
Mm-hmm.
bam. So okay, yeah, here we go. So say it's 16, then you would get you could do 61 because it's a 1-6.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that. If it's a 7, right, you can do 34 because then 34 adds up to 7. So you can
Okay,
it's
I got
ways
you.
around it as long as you can get to that number,
Right,
right?
right,
So
right, right.
if it's 4, you can do 22.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what that would be day. So say you want to do like divine protection, the day you are, I know this is 4. Boom. Well, you some that one planetary grid might not have a 4, or for example, you might have two of the same repetitive letters or something. So you have to boom. You can't go back to that same dot. You will go, all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah. 'Cause you know
3, I'm gonna do 21.
that's something we do in that's something we do in Wudan too, is because we take we take the letter, right? And like I don't think I got a pen on here, but let me see. It's like we take the letter, right, bro, and we break it down into a shape, right? So say I'm using the letter R, right? So I would do an R, right? But I will break it as so.
Oh, all right. I see. Okay, I see what you're saying.
You see? And then we will add the shapes and the lines and XYZ around it per se. That's how we do it. We break the letter actually down into different shapes and then we just connect them as we would connect them. Um,
That's
yeah, you seen that big ass book I had with them Veve, so it taught me a lot. Because at first I was like, "What? I'm not understanding what you guys are saying," and they're like, "Nah, you got to break that shit down." So, um, it's beautiful that the things that we do come from teachers that are teaching us the proper way. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
You
When
know?
you know that's part of you knowing you got guides that really are looking out for you and just and for your growth. They're not giving you no type of knowledge. And then it's you too. So it's not like you purposely going out there because you can come across anything if you're looking for
Yeah,
it as
yeah.
knowledge. It's
Mm-hmm.
you also being aware of the type of information and then knowing who you are. Like if your team know, all right, listen, they can learn this because they got good intentions and they ain't gonna use this for this type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
They'll find some and then you'll gain it. Like you say, you'll think it's just some random shit, and then once you start tapping into other cultures and practices, you'll realize, oh, this is a thing. Like I didn't even know I was doing this. Like what? Like huh? And then you'll put it together. Okay, like oh, this is blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah. And once you start tapping into your ancestry, you'll be like, oh, okay, well, this is what my ancestors did. They practiced this type of practice. No wonder this shit's so natural. It's in my DNA. Like it's just in, it's
Mm-hmm.
this is why this shit
That
is just
part.
so natural.
Some people are just born with it. Some people are just born with it. Okay, so I'm not gonna keep you on too long. But I do want you to tell people how they can reach you. I do want you to tell people about the services that you offer. Um, I know recently you started getting into doing ritual work and things of that nature. So definitely let the people know how they can reach you, how they can get in contact with you, and the things that you offer.
All right, so you can contact me through my this one way is this Instagram. What's the Infinite Vision 215. You can go on my Facebook, Feek Muhammad. You can go on my Twitter, King Sizzle 92. You can go on my TikTok, same name, King Sizzle 92. And there you can book a service, watch my videos, go through my posts, whatever, just to get to know me and see if I'm somebody you want to work with. Number one. Because I'm gonna just keep it real. I might not resonate with you. You might not like how I get down or how I talk. So make sure I'm somebody you want to work with. Number one, don't just do it because you
And
just feel like,
and
hey,
also too, Peak, I do want to say this too. Also, um, because we're very protective of our energy, sometimes we may deny you of a service. It's not for you to take it personal. It may just be somebody on our team that may just say, "Nah, that's not for you to do right now. Wait a little bit and see if that person come back, and then you can do it."
oh yeah, listen, I definitely do that because if you
Mm-hmm.
ain't ready for like we talked about, if you ain't ready for a regression, it ain't gonna work. So yeah,
Right.
and then you'll block yourself if you're not ready. These things are deep. Yeah. As far as services, I do a lot of energy work, so like cleanses of your aura, deep energetic body cleanses, removing entities, parasites, aura repair, torus field repair, things like that. That's one of the main ones I do. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
regressions. That's like my main thing. So if you want to look
Mm-hmm.
past the regression, we do that. If you want to do some healing and uh, facing and getting over some subconscious traumas that you may be blocked or locked away because they you just don't want to face them. We face those, we heal those. If you want to meet spirit guides face to face in a regression session, we can do that. If you want to just view your akashics, we can do that. Yeah, those are like my main ones. I do room readings. If you want to get one of those, I do tarot readings. Like you said, I've been doing ritual work behind the scenes, like on me and close friends. So I
Right.
just
Right.
got to.
Right.
It was like, all right, spirit was like, you ready to do it now. So I've been doing that. So if you want one of those, if for anything we can do those. Like if you want, I don't really like to do love rituals, but I understand people
Mm-hmm.
need them. So if you want one for love, I do those. Protection is one of the main ones. removal of things, karma cleansing rituals, of course, abundance, prosperity, money rituals.
Mm-hmm.
What else I do? Of course, my sigils. So I make
Mm-hmm.
for whatever you need. If you want one for protection, I'll make you one for protection. If you want one to help you manifest some things, I'll make it for that. If you want one just for ritualistic purposes, I help make one for that. So I make sigils as well. What else? What else? What else? And yeah, at the moment, currently, I'm teaching somebody how to do regressions herself. So I'm actually in the process of doing it. So that's
Well,
something.
first of all, congratulations, honey, because let me tell y'all something. I don't let just any spiritualist just do anything. Feek is the only one who does my regressions. Feek is the only one who does my energetic work for me. Because I trust my brother, and he also does a marvelous job at what he does. Um, and even with my readings, it's only a certain amount of people that I do allow to read me. Be very mindful about who y'all allow in your energetic circles. You understand? Because sometimes people don't have your best interests at heart, and so it's best to always go to people that you know have your best interests at heart and know that's going to do the proper thing for you along your journey. Okay, so I highly recommend you guys getting in contact with Feek. And even if you just hit him up for a consultation, just to ask him some questions, I'm sure he'll be very happy to answer them for you guys. Um, I want to ask you something, but I don't want to ask you on here. So I will be talking to you in your inbox in a few minutes when we get off of here. Because when you started talking to me, my mind started going. so
Start
and
connecting shit.
so the gears that's moving in my head right now, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, sis, I see you. So we will be talking about that. And after me and Feek talk about that, we will be coming back on here at another date. Um just to educate y'all guys some more. And hopefully we can do a Q&A where you guys can ask Feek a couple of questions. And that's it, y'all. Brother, I thank you for coming on my podcast. I greatly appreciate you educating the masses and awakening everybody as they were supposed to be awakened today. Oh, before we go, something I did want to talk to you about. Because again, before I got on here, it was a whole shit show that was happening. As we know, currently we are in the middle of a spiritual war that's happening. And I kind of want you to kind of touch bases on that a little bit. Nope.
Okay. Oh, well, I should have stuck on my hand. Woo. All right. So you talking about this spiritual? I mean, it's a shit, man. It's not.
It's not new, Feek. It's not new, though we know, but it's getting a little bit more intense and
No,
it's getting a
I was
little
about to
bit
say, I was about
more.
to say, it's not. It's not. It's real, but it's about to get realer.
Right.
So it's about to go down, and this
Mm-hmm.
shit you got. I know you people been making videos and whatnot about it for the last couple of years, but no, real shit. Like when I say it's about to go down, it's about to go down. I know because that's been something that's been expressed in the last couple of regression sessions with clients that don't even know each other, and it's been like
Mm-hmm.
I need to know, and it messed me up because I'm like, what the fuck. It even connect back to regressions I've done when I first started doing this shit, and I was told shit that didn't make sense. But these last couple ones, I was like, oh, I know
Yeah,
what.
everything always connects,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Everything.
It's if you get your protections up, if start learning, if you not now learning how to live off the fucking land, like ASAP,
Mm-hmm.
ASAP, like start studying herbs and what's poisonous, what's not poisonous. Fuck just spirit.
Yes.
Like no, you need to know the difference because this is where
God,
you might not be able to grow shit. You might really have to go out there and fucking forage for some shit.
and
So
forge
you're gonna
something right.
need to know what plants is poisonous, what not to touch, what you can eat if you smoke, what plants you can't eat.
Mm-hmm.
You going, yeah. Learn how to be more self sufficient. If you don't know how to start a fire, learn how to start a fucking fire. Like
That part.
it's gonna get real. So yeah,
Yes,
start
I've been telling
tapping.
people for the past few months stack up on water, stack up on food, take your money out the bank, keep paper money and coins. I keep telling people crystal is going to be the new currency of the world. Um, Go to higher ground because when these waters come flooding in, y'all gonna have some serious issues if y'all still below the water levels, okay? Also, these entities are literally
Running around.
feeding off of all the energy and all the low vibrational energy that's happening on this planet. I literally had to be checked by Hubs before I got on here. Like, so
Yeah.
you just gonna let this shit kind of fuck with you, or you gonna
It's
fight this
about
shit off? You know?
it's about to be, if you watch zombie movies, how you see people in, it's about to be people about to, it's about to be vessels out here, man. That's what I'm gonna say. It's about to just
Yeah,
be vessels out here, and you ain't gonna know who inside that motherfucker, who or what. And
yeah.
people talk now about how crazy motherfuckers is, and it's just the culture, man. Like, ain't no. Think about it like this: you walk down the street, you walk past 10 people. How many? Or we could say 12 o'clock in the afternoon. How many motherfuckers you think is actually sober? Like, in a right mind. I ain't talking about like on no regular. Oh, I just smoked a little weed. Like, no.
No, like, yeah, yeah.
God, somebody wanted me
Hmm.
wrong, one of them high as shit and pill some, or they just so loopy because they lost in social media and shit. They not even consciously aware. So how many people when you walk down the street actually hear, like hear? And
Listen,
yeah,
last week I got on a bus to go get my kids from my mom, and I didn't have, usually I got something on my head. I got my crystal in my crown. I got something. Today I was in a rush, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just go get the kids. Dude, I got on that bus, and them doors open up to let somebody on, and some entity got on the bus with the person. And when I tell you, they was like this, speak, just looking. And
yeah.
here I go, this little bright ass
They
chocolate
looking at you,
energy
right? They looking right at you, right?
looked right at me. And when I tell you the shit started going like this in my head, feet, and I was like, I was
Yeah.
with the kids. So in my head, I'm
Listen,
like,
be prepared for that to happen more. Because I had that. I went out when I went to go buy new herbs. I was going my way downtown, and the same shit happened. I'm on the train door open, boop, boy walk in, my crown chakra on fire. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I'm
mm-hmm.
looking at boy, he looking at me, leaning, he high talking to himself, but he's like a regular. He look like a regular. Like he don't look like he like a homeless person or somebody. He like a regular person. Like I'm like this nigga,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm a regular nigga though. Like what the fuck? In my mind, I'm a hood nigga, so fuck the spiritual shit. My first mind was yo, what the fuck is this nigga about to try to rob the train? Like I ain't got time for this shit. Like I'm just bro. If this nigga pull out a strap, fuck. Like and he
Yeah,
looking dead
because
at
that's
me.
that's
I
the
put my hood
mentality we
on.
go to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put my hood on. I'm like, let me chill. Turn my music down.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, thoughts was like, no, nigga, that's an entity. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, oh, this nigga is some shit with is he's some shit. And then
Yeah,
once he
he's
got
some shit.
I was like, nobody else see this shit. But then they go back
Mm-hmm.
to what I talked about before, my dad telling me shit as a kid. Yo, they'll know who you are when you won't know who you are.
Before you even, yeah,
You'll be struggling and you
yeah,
wonder why somebody staring at you. You don't got nothing wrong with you because they know who you are.
'cause
I
they
was like,
know.
I'm fucking 13. I'm like, what you talking about? They know who I am. And niggas, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they be knowing. They be knowing because
Mhm.
literally I got off the bus. I had to go and get some water and some salt. And I had to make my own little my real quick. And I had to wipe myself down. And I was like, before I left my mother house, she was like, you need to wrap up your head and stuff. And I wrapped up my crown and I felt much better. But yeah, they are out here and they are starving and they are hungry and they are trying to eat any and everything that's gonna allow them to. So guys, please be mindful. Please have your protection up. Please be mindful of the people in your circle. Please be mindful of the energy that you're around. And pay attention. They'll just be out here just lollygagging and shit. All right.
Yeah, it's real out here. It's real.
Okay.
This shit easy.
So Feek, I love y'all guys. Again, thank you for coming on. Congratulations on the new bundle of joy too. Because we ain't really get a chance to speak. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that you came on today, and I'm very thankful that you educated everybody Tell D I said, and
Well, yeah, I think she in here watching this somewhere.
okay, she seen me. And I'll be in your inbox in a couple minutes. And guys, don't forget, reach out to Feek if y'all guys need anything, any advice spiritually, any services done. Bro is there to do so. Okay?
I'm here to help. So that's what we're
Ashe.
here. We're here to help each other. Help
That
one,
part.
teach one.
That part, bro. All right, so I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for logging into the Luna Darling Experience podcast, and we will be talking to y'all next week with the beautiful Nubiana, who will be educating us on astrology, and she will be here on 11/11, and so we will be turning up on that day as well.
Got the
Okay?
opposite. Yeah, it's going down.
Yes, it's going down, honey. All right, bro. I'll talk to you later.
All right, sis. All right, everybody.
How we do this? Oh, close out.